What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be showcasing another really exciting team, basically the triple Ash Ketchum team. Now the criteria for picking this team is basically to choose only those Pokemon that Ash has caught at some point during his Pokemon journey. So as someone who's grown up watching and loving the anime, I've been wondering how Ash would perform if he were to participate in Go Battle League. So I decided to put that to the test with this team consisting of Charizard, Snorlax and Sceptile, and it's actually a pretty solid team. So it's got some pretty good coverage against most of the meta. So we'll talk about the strengths and weaknesses of this team as we get into these battles, but for now, let's just get straight into the commentary. Okay, moving on to the first battle right here. I'm going to be leading with Charizard, with Snorlax as the safe switch, and then Sceptile in the back. I'm going to be also running Dragon Claw on Sceptile just to provide that additional coverage against Giratina in particular, because this team would otherwise struggle against it, especially the Dragon Breath variant. And we're met with the Giratina right here. This is not a positive lead, so I'm just going to safe switch into Snorlax. It's a Shadow Claw variant, which is good for Snorlax right here, but they make a switch into Charizard. Now this is absolutely fine. Because they were slightly slow to switch out, I've got the energy advantage, and now I'm going to be able to get off a couple of body slams before they're even able to get to a single charge move, right? So second body slam coming through, this should definitely pressure the shield from Charizard or put it extremely low. So Snorlax is extremely bulky as well, which is why it works great as a safe switch option. They decide to shield that up, which is absolutely fine by me. So at this point, I'm actually going to call the bluff right here. They're probably going to try and bait with Dragon Claw, which they do, which is typically, most scenarios, I've used Charizard a lot as well. In the two shield scenario, you're kind of tempted to bait all the time. So at this point, I'm just going to throw the body slam. This is going to take out Charizard if it goes unshielded, but they shield that up. It's absolutely fine. Now we have a two shield advantage. So I'm predicting another bait right here because now the Dragon Claw coming through, not going to shield this. They make a switch into Giratina, and now they're going to throw their own Dragon Claw. So I'm going to probably shield this up because I want to get off the damage onto this Giratina, simply because both Charizard and Sceptile are going to struggle a little bit. Even though both of them have access to Dragon Claw, they're still going to struggle against Giratina, and I don't really want to take any of those additional damage, which is why unfortunately I have to commit to the double shield because I want to land this Earthquake, right? Earthquake is going to do some heavy neutral damage to Giratina and put it into the yellow. Not an ideal situation. I would have not liked to burn both shields at this point, but it's fine. So they're going to have to get this charge move off right here because Shadow Claws are double resisted. They can't farm us down with quick moves. So Dragon Claw takes out Snorlax. I could come in with either at this point because both of them, ideally, the reason I come in with Charizard right here is because in case they have a Swampert in the back, I want to preserve some health on my Sceptile. Typically, most people like to run Swamperts in the back, but they still have a little bit of Charizard in the back. So I'm going to have to be wary of that as well because Sceptile is going to really struggle against that Charizard. So I'm going to throw the Dragon Claw immediately because I don't really want to risk eating another charge move right here. So Dragon Claw should finish off the Giratina, and let's see what they have in the back. They have a Gyarados in the back, so I'm going to immediately switch into Sceptile right here, and let's see what they have. Okay, they make a switch into Charizard, so I'm going to go immediately for the Leaf Blade. Now, Leaf Blade is double resisted, but from this range, it should definitely take out the Charizard. I probably should have gone for Dragon Claw, but I just impulsively went for it because I was, afraid of eating a charge move. So at this point, I'm just going to go for another Leaf Blade right here. This is going to do heavy neutral damage to Gyarados because of its water flying typing. It should get it pretty low as it does right there. They're going to get off a charge move. This is probably going to be a crunch, and it's probably going to come close to taking Sceptile out because Sceptile is fairly glassy, and then subsequent Dragon Breaths definitely take it out. Now it's a race to the charge move, right? I'm going to have to get to this Dragon Claw right here, and I'm able to do it just in time. And this Dragon Claw should definitely finish off the Gyarados, and I think, it finishes off the Gyarados, and that's going to be a GG. So fantastic start to this team comp right here. Like I said, pretty solid team, and like Ash would say, let's do it. So moving into the second battle right here, again, Gyarados at the back was slightly tricky, but like I said, with a slight energy lead that I had on Charizard, I was able to get the charge move in time. So let's see what we have here. We have Charizard into Cresselia. This is actually not a bad matchup. As long as they don't have Future Sight, I'm really hoping that they have Moonblast and Grass Knot, in which case Charizard would do great against Cresselia because both those moves are resisted. Typically, I always go straight for the Blast Burn because most people don't shield their Cresselia. As you can see, it does heavy neutral damage because it goes unshielded. They're gonna get off a charge move right here. I'm really hoping this is Moonblast because it would be resisted. But unfortunately, it's a future side. That does like a ton of neutral damage right there. So this is not an ideal situation to be in. So I'm just gonna throw the Dragon Claw because if it's Blast Burn, it would take it out. I'm really trying to pressure a shield right here. So we get the shield. This is fine. This is good. So I'm going to switch into Snorlax and try and lick this Cresselia down. They're going to get off a charge move right here. This is probably going to be a Moonblast, or it could even be Future Sight, but yeah, it's a Moonblast. Luckily, yeah, we don't get the attack debuff. That is huge. So they make a switch into Charizard. Once again, we have the energy advantage, right? So Snorlax with an energy advantage can definitely beat Charizard on even shields. So just going to throw the Body Slam right here. I might even get to 2 before they're able to get to a charge move. So I'm just going to throw the second Body Slam right here. This is, again, going to definitely pressure shield from this Charizard or put it extremely low. It puts it extremely low. So at this point, I can probably commit to the Lick farm down, which is why I think I'm not going to shield this because I'm expecting a Dragon Claw bait again. Most people do it, right? Even I've used Charizard a lot. That's typically what I do as well. So at this point, they're going to get off another Dragon Claw. I'm going to shield this because now I can commit to the Lick farm down and have quite a bit of energy to throw at whatever's going to come out next. So Charizard goes down. Let's see what they have in the back. It's an Alolan Muk, so I'm going to go straight for the Body Slam. Actually, I pulled the trigger quite early. I probably could have easily gotten to an Earthquake because Snarl is not doing enough damage to take out Snorlax. But unfortunately, I mean, I could have easily gone for the Earthquake, right? If they hadn't shielded that, it would have probably taken him out or come close to taking it out. So they're going to get off a charge move right here. I'm going to let it go because I want to preserve at least one shield for endgame. So my Charizard is extremely low as well, right? So Sceptile doesn't have a great matchup against Alolan Muk. So I'm just going to go straight for the Dragon Claw here because Dragon Claw would be hitting for neutral while Leaf Blade would be resisted. So Dragon Claw is, yeah, it's going to do very minimal damage. So at this point, I'm just going to switch into Charizard and sack it basically. Like I said, it has very minimal health. I'm going to have to preserve some health on my Sceptile to basically beat this Alolan Muk and this Cresselia in the back. So just going to come in and throw the Leaf Blade right away here. Even though Leaf Blade is resisted, I believe Leaf Blade does a little bit more damage than Dragon Claw because Leaf Blade is such a good move, and also on top of the fact that it has stab coming from a Sceptile, it probably does more resisted damage than Dragon Claw would at neutral damage, right? I think that's the key. I mean, maybe in Giratina matchups, you'd definitely want to be going for Dragon Claw, but I think in other matchups, I guess Leaf Blade would work out. So at this point, like I said, Cresselia has so much loaded energy. Future Sight almost takes us out. So I'm just going to get off this Leaf Blade right here. Unfortunately, they have a shield, right? So they can just safely shield this up and it's going to be a GG. So, yeah, I mean, I had to shield the Dark Pulse from Alolan Muk because it could have been a Sludge Wave and that could have one-shot my Sceptile, which meant that I had no shields going into the Cresselia matchup, which ended up costing me. But it's fine. It was a very close game right there, but we definitely make a comeback in this one. So let's see now. We have Charizard into Articuno. Very, very positive matchup for Charizard. So they make a switch into Swampert. This is perfect. This is exactly what this team comp is built for. We have Sceptile, probably one of the hardest counters to Swampert. This is just going to be a Hydro Cannon right here. It's going to be resisted. Even Earthquake is going to be resisted. I'm not going to shield at this point. I'll probably shield eventually if they shield this up. So I'm just going to throw the Leaf Blade immediately. This is going to one-shot Swampert if it goes unshielded. They shield that up. That's absolutely fine by me. I'm not going to shield again because Sceptile can definitely beat Swampert down a shield as well. So I think they made a mistake shielding that up because they're just going to be down a shield and also lose switch advantage. So I'm just going to throw the Leaf Blade right here and it goes through. Pretty much takes out Swampert. Like you can see, they just burnt a shield and lost switch advantage. So they definitely shouldn't have shielded that right there. They're going to come back in with Articuno. So I'm just going to go in Charizard right here. They make a switch into Giratina and I'm going to go into Snorlax. So this is the perfect, basically in this particular scenario, we had the perfect team comp to counter this team, but it's still not over yet because this is a Dragon Breath Giratina doing a lot of damage to Snorlax. So if I'm going to have to do any sort of damage with my charge moves, I'm going to have to go straight for the Earthquake. They still have only one shield, so which is why I'm not going to bait right here. I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake. I'm going to have to shield this up, unfortunately, because Snorlax basically has to take out this Giratina, because Charizard would take a lot of damage from those Dragon Breaths, right? So going to go for the Earthquake, really hoping that it goes through, hoping they think it's a Body Slam bait, but they shield that up. So this is not an ideal situation to be in. They're going to get off another charge move right here, and I believe I'm going to shield this, because I want to preserve the health on my Snorlax to get off another Earthquake. But they make a switch into Articuno and try and get off the charge move, but we make a switch just in time. That was actually very smart play by them. They were trying to instantly delete my Snorlax right there, and if they had done that, they probably would have won the game. So I'm going to go straight for the Blast Burn. Even though we are debuffed, Blast Burn is such a hard-hitting move, and also at super effective damage. We'll come close to taking this Articuno out. Doesn't quite take it out at one shot, so I'm going to try and commit to the Fire Spin down, but they're able to get to another charge move. This is really unfortunate, because they had the energy lead. They're able to beat me to the charge move right here. It's going to take Charizard out, but now I can commit to the Lick farm down. So we got an extra Lick worth of energy. So I'm just going to go straight for the Earthquake here. Let's see if this finishes off Giratina, because it doesn't have stab coming from a Snorlax. So gets this Giratina extremely low. Now can I lick it down before? Yeah, I'm able to do it just in time right there, because they probably were close to a charge move. So Snorlax coming through super clutch to pretty much close out the game. So that was a very, very good game again. We had the perfect hard counters, but you can see how difficult it is still to win. It just went down, just went down to the wire right there. And now we're met Charizard into an Escavalier. This is the best lead you can ask for. Doing double super effective damage. Charizard is basically going to melt this thing right there. They make a switch into Alolan Muck. So I'm just going to overfarm just a little bit and throw the Blast Burn, because we don't really have any hard counter to Alolan Muck. Snorlax will have a decent matchup because we have access to Earthquake, which can pretty much one-shot it. So I'm going to switch into Snorlax right here and then soak up this charge move. At this point, because we burnt a shield, they gave up a shield, I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake. I'm not going to bait. Sludge Wave doing heavy neutral damage right there to Snorlax. So at this point, I'm just going to try and go for the Earthquake. They're going to get off another charge move right here. I'm going to shield this, because if it's Sludge Wave, it probably would come close to taking us out. Luckily, they don't bait. It's a Sludge Wave. So I'm just going to go straight for the Earthquake here. Again, if they shield, then they're going to be shieldless after this. But this Earthquake should definitely take out the Alolan Muck if it goes unshielded, doing super effective damage right there. This is great. Now we win back switch advantage, and Escavalier comes back in, and they're going to throw a charge move. This is absolutely fine by me. I'm not going to shield, because I can just come back in with Charizard and completely melt this thing right here. So just going to come back with Charizard. They make a switch into their Togekiss. So this is a really tricky situation. Now I'm going to be forced to stay in, because Sceptile doesn't have too much play against a Togekiss. So I'm just going to go straight for the Blast Burn here, hoping they don't shield. They let it go through. This is huge. They thought that was a Dragon Claw bait probably. So now I can just commit to the Fire Spin farm down. And I'm not going to even throw the charge move right here, because they have a shield. I'm just going to commit to the complete Fire Spin down, and Charizard is able to take the win right there. Again, sheer dominance from Charizard right there, being able to take out the Togekiss and the Escavalier in the back. So perfect. Again, I think landing that Blast Burn on Togekiss was crucial. I guess that's the key, right? Sometimes, just not going for the bait can really pay off, because if I'd baited with Dragon Claw and they hadn't shielded, it would have been disastrous. So Charizard into Machamp. This is not a positive lead, because Machamp has access to Rock Slide, which can pretty much one-shot a Charizard. So they're going to get off charge move. At this point, I'm almost sure it's a cross chop, but I still shielded up, because in case it was a Rock Slide, it would pretty much one-shot Charizard. So I'm just going to go for the Dragon Claw bait right here, because Machamp is fairly glassy. They would be inclined to shield this, because Blast Burn would pretty much one-shot it. So at this point, I'm just going to overfarm a little bit and then switch into Sceptile. Now, like I said, this team comp really struggles against Machamp, because Snorlax is obviously going to struggle against it. Sceptile is arguably, the better matchup, but even Sceptile doesn't have a great matchup. They make a switch into Articuno. This is not great at all, right? Because Sceptile is not going to be able to do too much to Articuno. So I'm just going to throw the Dragon Claw right here. We get a shield. This is huge. I'm not sure why they shielded that. So at this point, I'm just going to go for the Leaf Blade right here. Both of them, I believe, would do equal damage, even though Leaf Blade is resisted, like I mentioned, because it's such a good move. Again, not really going to do that much, but okay, just chipping away. I'm going to be able to come back in with Charizard right here, but they have so much loaded energy, right? That's the unfortunate part of it. They completely farmed the Sceptile down, which means that they have a lot of energy right here. So they're going to throw the Icy Wind. So I'm going to try and get to this Blast Burn before they're able to get to a charge move. But unfortunately, they beat us to the charge move, right? So I'm definitely gonna have to shield this because I have to get rid of this Articuno right here. In spite of being double debuffed, Blast Burn would take it out. But they make a really nice switch into Machamp to catch the Blast Burn. That was very nice play by them. But I'm gonna have to get it off anyways because I can't just go into Snorlax just like that. I'm trying to commit to the Fire Spin farm down here, but they're able to get to a charge move. This is not ideal. I was really hoping that I could completely successfully farm this Machamp down, but now it's not great, right? Because the Radicuno is going to come back in and, throw the Icy Wind. And what it means is that my Snorlax is probably going to be debuffed for the rest of the game and I can't even switch out to clear it. So I'm really hoping that I can get to this Body Slam and, get rid of this Articuno before getting debuffed. Because Articuno in the back that's one of the sort of very difficult situations to deal with, right? So unfortunately, we're not able to take it out. They're going to get off an Icy Wind right here. And even though it's not going to do a lot, it's going to do enough to make sure that, I'm not going to be able to do enough damage to whatever's going to come out next. It's a Registeel. So this is pretty much GG's right here because even if I get off this Earthquake, it's not going to do enough. But they're able to beat us to the charge move. And it's probably going to be a Focus Blast, which is going to definitely one-shot the Snorlax from this range right here. It takes us out. So that's GG's again. Losing Charizard early was really tricky because Charizard had great matchups against both Articuno and Registeel in the back. Unfortunately, because of the Rock Slide threat, I was forced to switch out and yeah, it was a little bit messed up right there, but pretty exciting set like you can see. Pretty positive set going 3-2 right there. Like I said, this team definitely has some play. I was initially worried about how it would perform, but actually performed much better than I originally thought it would. So, let's see now. I think this is the set where I went back up above 2200. Yeah, just moving barely up above 2200. The grind is real, so got to keep grinding. Yeah, so as you guys can see right there, it's actually a pretty solid team comp. Now, I could have easily gone 4-1 in this set if I hadn't been as apprehensive about Machamp's Rock Slide. But even the game which I lost previously, it went down to the wire. So, like I said, pretty solid team comp and decent coverage against most of the meta, and Charizard was definitely the MVP of this team, like it has been for Ash, especially during the initial part of his Pokemon journey. It gave him so many crucial wins, especially like the Silver Conference Johto League battle against Gary, and also the Battle Frontier battle against Articuno and Nolan. I think that was really, it came in super clutch for him multiple times during his journey, right? As it did in this battle as well, being able to pull off some really nice wins from very tricky situations. So again, you can basically try out the similar concept with multiple other Pokemon as well, because Ash has caught so many Pokemon during his Pokemon journeys. And the other two, apart from the ones that I showcased in this video that come to mind right now, are obviously Melmetal and Lapras, which both of them have really good play as far as Ultra League PvP is concerned. So, but do let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you think would actually that you would try if you were to try out the Triple Ash team. Obviously, he's got, like I said, multiple interesting Pokemon, including Dragonite and Gengar recently. So do let me know in the comments if there's any other interesting Pokemon that you think could actually perform well in PvP. As far as the Pokemon from Ash's list is concerned. And yeah, I'll just be bringing more interesting team comps like these. I've got a couple of another really interesting triple teams to showcase, so stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.